If you want a clear indication of the genre today, I'm going to put a link in the description to Chris Stuckman's video, The Problem with Horror Movies Today. Now to be honest guys, I'm not a huge horror movie fan, and I don't watch a lot of horror movies, especially the bad ones, because I stay away from those because I don't want to insult myself. But since of course I'm growing up, and of course if I'm going to become a critic, I have to see both bad and good movies and sell it to you, whether or not I hate them and whether or not you should see them. But of course, I've seen a couple horror movies. I've seen classics like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, not the remakes, and Silence of the Lambs. I love those movies. They're amazing. And then I've seen movies like The Purge and The Purge Anarchy, which, although it wasn't as bad as the first one, still not a great horror movie. One problem I have with horror movies today is jump scares. That is the number one complaint people have with this movie. It's just jump scares. Jump scares are the cheapest way to scare people, and they're ridiculous. They're cheap. What scares us is a loud noise. It's just a loud noise, something pops out at you. That's the cheapest way to scare somebody. God damn it, why is this thing not focusing? Now let's continue talking. I don't know what's wrong with this camera. This thing is old as shit. Maybe that's why it's just starting to completely fall apart. I don't know why I did that with my hands. It's something stupid. Anyways, this movie just wasn't very no. The jump scares are not creative, and when I saw some jump scares in Poltergeist, which is leaving me incredibly worried, not to mention the fact it's a remake. Even though the writer of this movie had success with movies like Rabbit Hole, critical success, and Jill Kennan, the director, I think that's how you pronounce his name, had Monster House, which I thought was pretty good. You know, the anime movie, horror movie, which is actually kind of scary, I guess. It wasn't a cheap horror movie. The genre today is just a mess. Some people I know saw movies like The Lazarus Effect, said it was predictable. Also, I heard it was terrible. Same from people who saw it, like who reviewed it, such as I don't know about this person, but there's this one kid who reviews movies, and seriously, he's incredibly sophisticated. I mean, that's not. I don't say kids are stupid, but really, this kid has really vast knowledge of this. Maybe he's known a lot about this from watching videos, and just the fact that he knows what makes movies good and what makes movies bad, just like I am saying. Movies like these just aren't scary. So one person said that jump scares are scary. No, they're cheap. They're cheap as fuck. Also, give us a plot that makes sense, or one that we can be invested in, because we've all seen bad plots. Like The Purge and The Purge Anarchy had good plot, had unique premises, but the problem is the overall plot, the overall script was just disappointing. The first Purge was just awful. There were jump scares in there. There was one jump scare that didn't scare me. Actually, I don't think any of them really did. I didn't find the movie very scary. The setup was okay, but the overall movie was so bad due to goddamn dumb characters. Another problem I have with horror movies today. Seriously, are you going to cast characters that are dumber beyond any stretch of the imagination? I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you people? We're supposed to be invested in these characters, not laugh at them, or just tell them not to do shit they're not supposed to do that they should know about. Oh my god. That's just ridiculous as shit. Another horror. Also, give us characters that we can care about. I saw The Conjuring. We all saw The Conjuring. We all loved it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was scary. It had a great atmosphere. James Wan did such a fantastic job at giving us a tense atmosphere, had a great story, gave us characters we can care about. Also, I found the movie to just work because of its old techniques. It had such great atmosphere, great acting, good writing. You can't get any more than that. You can't get any better than that. But unfortunately, people just seem to rip this movie off. Since you have to follow up Annabelle, which I heard was pretty bad. I didn't want to see it because it's something I like to do. I just don't want to see bad movies. Maybe I should just rent them off GameFly, because you can rent movies off GameFly now. Yay! Next thing will be TV shows. Don't consider that surprising. And why not? Problem is, I find the genre to be falling apart. A lot of people nowadays just want jump scares. They don't want a slow-paced building tension. I saw It Follows, and I thought that was pretty good. Low budget, and I was actually pretty scared a few times. Like, it actually had this very tense atmosphere, fantastic build-up, and had a good plot and solid acting. Also, such a great score with such a great techno vibe that reminded me of John Carpenter's Halloween. A great example of a jump scare done right is one that just doesn't rely on a loud noise. Because according to Chris Stuckman, He says that using a loud noise in a jump scare is misleading, because if so, then you're fearing something that you're not supposed to. Such as, if remember that scene in Halloween where like Donald Pleasance is just in a neighborhood, he's looking at kids, smiling, and then just like a hand comes on and touches on his shoulder and he freaks out, and it turns out to be the sheriff. If that was done with a loud noise, and actually Chris Tuckman demonstrated this with a scene done with a loud noise, then you'd be misleading into thinking you're supposed to be fearing the sheriff instead of Michael Myers, which is ridiculous. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to keep it. You're supposed to make Michael Myers the one and only protagonist. That's what makes Halloween so good. It doesn't mislead the audience. It keeps people going. Also gives us great mystery to its characters. The problem is that I also didn't find movies scary anymore. A lot of people don't put effort to making movies scary. Also, there are times where CGI is being used, and that is just so cheap because no one puts effort into them. Or sometimes their budgets are so small that they're doing it mostly on they're spending it on the marketing. That's ridiculous. And there's some bad horror movies that made tons of money, such as Annabelle. My God, that made a shitload of money. Mostly because it was marketed as a spin-off to The Conjuring, one of the best horror movies in years. Ouija, that was fucking awful, and that made so much money and beat out movies that were opening up their first weekend, such as John Wick and Nightcrawler. Some of the most well-received, some of the best-regarded movies of the year. How is that possible? What the fuck is wrong with their generation? How did they not know Ouija was so bad, or ever listen to the awful, awful reviews on Rotten Tomatoes? Seriously, it's like when you're watching horror movies, and you're gonna look and see if it's a good one or not. You have to watch it on Rotten Tomatoes. You have to look at the reviews, make sure it's good. It gets a fresh rating. Otherwise, you're gonna see a piece of shit. And boy, was that true with movies such as The Purge, Purge Anarchy, and of course with anyone who hated Annabelle, which was everybody. I gotta watch the movies because I gotta catch up on bad horror movies so that I can give a clear explanation and clarification on bad horror movies today. But still, I don't want to see a lot of bad movies. They just look all the same. Also, horror remakes are just shameless now. They're always coming around. They're also rebooting these old franchises and not doing anything good with them. Poltergeist, I don't think it looks all that promising. Even with such a very talented actor like Sam Rockwell, I still don't want to see that because it looks like another jump scare fest. It looks like it's gonna butcher one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Yeah, that's right. I saw Poltergeist, the original. I think it's pretty scary. It has a great atmosphere, and I think it holds up so well today. And to be honest, it just has it has a screen that's like, they're here. Like, it knows what scares you. Seriously, I mean, how can you not beat lines like that? You can't recreate this film because it's going to butcher it, and you can't live up to the original. That's just a true thing. There's something that can surpass the original, but like I said, it just doesn't work. Especially here, because that movie set heavy standards back then. Here, they don't. Fuck horror movies. All they care about is making money, studios. They also ruined Alien 3. I forgot to mention that Alien 3 was such a shit horror movie. I hated it. Everything I loved about Aliens were just their atmosphere. Alien was such fantastic, slow-building tension, a terrifying xenomorph, and overall incredibly sad, and also a great story, fantastic acting, great special effects, great production design, fantastic lighting, cinematography, editing, and great atmosphere. I mean, oh my god, it was amazing. Slow-building, paranoia, isolation, everything that a horror movie needed to do to be great. And it succeeded. Same for strong characters and great writing. Fantastic. Such an amazing movie. Same for Aliens. Aliens was such a fantastic I guess you could say there are some kind of elements of horror in there, but I find more of an action. But I still find elements of horror in there, especially when there are bodies hung up on the walls covered that with xenomorphs popping out of their stomach, just like in the first one. Classic horror movie kill. Fucking awesome. And they were so terrifying. The aliens were so terrifying. In Alien 3, the thing acts like a dog because the facehugger attaches itself to the dog in the original version, not the special edition version, because I've never seen that because I'm not a huge devotee to that franchise. I haven't seen Resurrection yet, and to be honest, I might just hate it overall, just like the third one. But it acted like a dog. The special effects were very good, and to be honest, the movie didn't really have all that claustrophobia and isolation that made the first one so good. It was certainly more like the first one. It wasn't all that compelling. It just didn't work. It was ridiculous. It was an insult to the franchise, insult to me, anybody who saw it. Yeah. Also, like, Friday the 13th. Now, I thought that was I understand why it's so culturally significant as a horror movie, but I don't think it's all that great. I think it's okay. I mean, Jason's not really in it. He's really at the end when he pops out of the water and grabs one of the camper counselors and pulls her into the water. Scary. To be honest, the movie's not exactly frightening, but there's such a cheesy charm to it that makes it enjoyable on its own. And of course, an 80s classic because, hey, 80s was the time of cheesy shit. Yeah. Where do you get shit like that? And then, of course, what do you have for, a villain? I mean, this is an iconic villain, but of course, Jason became more apparent in the sequels. That's when you saw his iconic look, so to be honest. The first one doesn't really count because it was really his grandma. His mom. God damn it. I still enjoy the movie, but to be honest, and it did have an opening scene that was too reminiscent of Halloween because Sean S. Cunningham, the director of it, took heavy inspiration from Halloween. It was a ripoff of it, basically. But still has a legacy of its own. And while I don't consider it fantastic or anything, it's fine. I mean, you can still enjoy it, but you obviously can see the parallels between Halloween and Friday the 13th. I don't really care. I mean, it's not all that great to begin with. Number 10. Best horror movie of all time, Watch Mojo. What a fucking joke. But anything else on there, like The Fly or something, like the remake, I gotta watch that. It's on my DVR right now. I gotta watch that. Guys, I really want you to understand that that horror movies are just a mess today. I think the genre is completely falling apart. And while we have seen some good horror movies recently, some well-received ones like You're Next, even though I haven't seen it yet. Same for Cabin Woods, though I really want to, because my god, that looks like an awesome meta movie, considered one of the best meta movies of all time by Watch Mojo. And you know, it's co-written by Joss Whedon. Directed by Drew Goddard. Same co-written by him also. Written by Joss Whedon, Drew Goddard, and directed by Drew Goddard, who created Daredevil. I only saw a pilot, but that pilot was so cool. Seriously, these are real talents who aren't restricted by the studio, and they're doing what they want to do because they want to. They are devoted to it. They make it work. I gotta watch that movie so bad. Hopefully I'll get it. Someday I'll give a review on that, but probably not soon. Anyways, guys, I really want you guys to understand, especially if you're hoping to be a filmmaker soon and you want to make horror films, understand this. Watch old horror movies, take inspiration from them. Watch good, well-received, well-regarded horror movies. Because you'll understand what makes them good and why they're considered classics, why the people love them. So take heavy inspiration from that. Another good horror movie I saw was Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. That was so gory, so scary, and so funny. That movie managed to put in other elements of other films. It's a horror comedy. It's so funny. Such great slapstick humor. Bruce Campbell's just awesome. That's just really how you manage to make a horror movie work. You blend different genres together. I mean, you get horror comedy, or just flat out horror. Slasher. I mean, you have Halloween to thank for that. And, yeah, the entire genre I think is just falling apart today, and I think there are some good horror movies once in a while. I think there just needs to be some good movies more and more. I just want to see more good ones. Because then, of course, we're going to fall apart, because this genre is such a joke today. Same for comedy. Which I complained about, which I already complained about. The video is probably already posted right now, or maybe it's just published when the videos are published, such as the 3 I did today. But I don't know. I really want you guys to take inspiration from this, realize what's wrong with horror movies today, and wonder, and really find a way to fix them in the future if you want to be in film. Me, probably. I have no idea. I still gotta think over that. Take inspiration from that. And if you comment below what you think about horror today, do you think I'm right? Do you think that I might be wrong? Do you think I missed a few things? Just comment below and subscribe to my channel for more videos.